I always recommend Glo because I back it. Like, I would never suggest vendors to my clients that I wouldn't personally back. Like, you do my hair. Like, I literally don't present.
I'm glad you said that when I'd styled it before we did this.
Oh,
video.
I know. My hair before was horrible.
If you said you do my hair and it was what it was before, I'd be like, no, don't do hair.
Okay, so we're sitting here with Scott from Glo Spa and Salon. You've got three branches of salon or four now?
No, we're up to 5. So we've got 5 locations: Sanur, Seminyak, Canggu, Echo Beach, and then Lembongan.
Yeah.
And then another one hopefully to be coming.
Wow, so that's a lot. And I guess that really does cater to what your bread and butter really is, which is like serving the island with looks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Glo is one of the first city-style spas in Bali 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So we actually celebrate our 20th anniversary in July.
That's exciting.
So we've been established on the island for 20 years. Georgia, who is the owner and founder, she launched it 20 years ago, and it's been going strong ever since. So
whenever I sort of tell like our clients about Glo, I'm like, if you guys want the OGs on the island, like the ones who basically redefined, wedding hair and makeup for the bridal industry here, it's Glo.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Georgia was quite ahead of her time in sort of seeing that niche and jumping on board for that, because even though there's so many now, you guys are sort of almost as well in the next level in the sense that you don't just do hair and makeup.
No, I mean, we're full service, and obviously when it comes to your industry and what you do, and obviously what we're a part of when it comes to, weddings and events, hair, we do makeup for weddings, but then we also do waxing, manicures, pedicures, we do massages, facials, we do spray tanning, we do everything that is anything related to maintenance is essentially what we do, just to make people look and just feel amazing.
And that's great to know for guests as well, because even though like the head makeup team and everyone will be booked for the bride, but all guests still want to look amazing for the big day as well, so they can come here for all their manicures and get their eyelash extensions done and all that sort of thing, because I know I get a lot of inquiries about this sort of stuff, and I think we've got a wedding coming up this month.
Yes.
And the bride has booked 3 consecutive days with Glo. Like first is like the prep for the manicure, pedicure, massages. Then we've got the actual day off, and then we've got the post-wedding massages and everything. So it's amazing to know, and I don't think enough people know that you can cater to literally everything.
I also think as well, like, making it a fun event, like you could grab your friends, your bridal party, whoever, your parents to come here and have like a full spa day. We have a private event space. You could have 15 of your friends in here, all getting manicures, pedicures, wash fresh blow dries before the big day, because obviously we ask to have your hair washed and dried the day before. You can make it into a whole, hens. Yeah, you can do a whole hens beauty day here, and that would be,
And that's also great as well, because I would say that there's a lot of others that perhaps don't have such a amazing space to get ready and to prep in, to have your trial in.
Yeah.
And you've got a space here that not only looks amazing, but you've got a bar, you've got a place where everyone can fit together and have those chats together and get excited and that buzz, sort of feeling, which is great. And that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, especially if you team it with your wedding trial.
Yes.
Because you can have you and your friends there together getting ready, but then also, you could team that with meeting your bridal team and knowing who you're working with on the day. Because, we spend more time with the brides than their family do.
Yeah.
We're there for like 6 to 8 hours depending on the day.
I know, I was going to say, apart from the planner, I would say that the hair and makeup team are the ones who are there with the bride majority of the time of the wedding day. Yeah. You're there from morning till right before, and then with the retouch in the evenings and stuff, oftentimes, you're back again. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, for the most part, say generally the weddings, we arrive usually around 9. That's when the girls start getting ready, when the guys are still in the pool having a beer. At 9 a.m. we're there getting ready, and we don't leave till 3. So nearly 7 hours?
Yeah, that's
of
a lot.
Just being in that room, lots of chaos, lots of personalities. So knowing you've got a good team and a strong team as well, because sometimes people need to be wrangled.
Yes. And so sort of moving on then. So I guess we'll get into the actual day of. But planning like the hair and makeup for a whole wedding party is so much more than what happens on the day, isn't it?
Do you mean the planning?
The planning, like the prep to get to that point.
So
what's involved from
yeah.
first inquiry?
Okay, so from first inquiry, so our owner Georgia, she deals with all the initial inquiries, and then so I'm the creative director for the company, and I'm also kind of the director of Bridal. So I'm the person who's responsible for the main organizing of the actual day, and then scheduling is Rupi, who's our operations manager, who's been with us for like 17 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of like the pre-wedding stuff, like normally I get the inquiry when it comes to the planning of the looks and also, you know, just getting to know the bride before we actually have the day. So I have a direct wedding WhatsApp. So normally either the planner or, you know, Georgia will give the number, and then if they have any questions, like it could be the simplest.
It's basically a hotline to the creative director of Glo.
And you know what? It's also a hotline that I can choose to answer. So I know the bride, I know the date of the wedding, and then it gives her the chance to send me all of her inspiration photos for makeup and hair. If she wants to ask me questions, you know,
products to be used or like sensitivities to the heat or whatever it might be.
Yeah, totally. And also, getting married in Bali it's not like getting married anywhere else.
No.
Tropical weddings are totally different.
Yeah.
And I think that those little questions and building that relationship as well with the brides before we meet in person actually makes the day go easier.
For sure.
Because there's no surprise.
And I think it's definitely a lot more different because even those who are like Bali veterans who come here all the time, that might be all well and good for their holiday, but then having your hair and makeup done in Bali, it's a whole new ball game. And you're going to see a whole lot of things that you're not particularly used to. Like you might come here on holiday, get your hair straightener in the hotel room, do it, and you're out. But then to have makeup that lasts, that feels comfortable, that feels lightweight, hair that stays bouncy, it's a whole new experience. So they do need to feel that comfort level, and having that hotline, I'll call it, straight to you guys will be really good for any sort of anxious brides especially. Would you recommend a retouch for every scenario, or would you do it case by case pending the actual hair and skin tone and everything for the bride?
I think that weddings have changed in terms of social media.
Yeah.
Everyone is a celebrity these days. And I think that people want something that's going to look good online.
Yeah.
So it is more common now, and I do suggest during trials, your hair and makeup has to be perfect. And in terms of having retouches and stuff like that, we do advise in the trial, if you have one, to have a touch-up.
Yeah.
Just because so you go out the door, say your ceremony's at 4, you go out the door, sometimes there's a little waiting around for things to shuffle and get ready and whatever. And then a lot of the weddings are outside, so it's humid and hot and sweaty. And then you have your photos afterwards. But if the hair and makeup team are there, say from after you walk down the aisle to like, say 6, even if just before you have your photos done, they can come in and do a quick powder retouch while you're outside. And then, because I mean, I have a cordless hair straightener. I
didn't even know they existed.
Oh yeah. Cloud9 cordless hair straightener. It only lasts about 20 minutes. The GHD one, the Dyson ones are also cordless.
Okay.
But yeah, I think, we could do retouches because it's the photos that matter. And so that's what you're going to look back on. You'll remember the feeling, and the photos of the actual visual.
I'm just sort of agreeing with everything you've just said because I say the exact same things to my clients. Like for me, I always say it's the services that you cannot get a replica for. Like once you've sold yourself on your hair and makeup team, on your photography team, and your music team.
Yeah.
When it comes to service done by an individual, if you don't get that person, you're not going to get that look. Whether it's your photographer, your videographer, they don't have that eye. So it's just so crucial in my eyes. And hair and makeup is one of my top 3 to say lock in when you know, because if they're gone, you're not going to get a carbon copy somewhere else.
Totally. And I think as well, like, you are the focus of your day.
Yes. The
plates and the cutlery and the glasses and the flowers and everything, it's all background. Like everything in the photos is all background. So it doesn't necessarily, when brides are getting stressed out that, I don't know, the plates are wrong or the chairs weren't what they wanted originally and all that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff doesn't really matter, and you won't care about that in the future. You will care if your hair looks janky or if your makeup is too orange. Or if and same with photographers, if your photography isn't perfect, that's your memory for the rest of your life.
Yes, that's what you've got to remember it by. And that's how you look at it. That's you frozen in time with your hair and your makeup.
Yeah.
Choose well.
Yeah, exactly.
And so how is it for you guys? So, you've told us about how you prep beforehand, then you arrive on the day. What do you expect from your clients, your brides and their mums and everything? And what do you expect from the rest of the team, the planner and everything like that? How does it all get together from your perspective, from your side?
So I mean, I do a lot of weddings, and I'm on a lot of weddings. Sometimes people request. I mean, to be honest, as a company, we can have 4 weddings in one day. You know, we have a huge team.
That's what I love about Glo, is that we can either have 2 weddings in one day and still have you guys on board, or we could. And when it's happened before, I think it was last March, we had about 9 bridesmaids and like all the mums and aunties and everyone was at the Surga estate. And
that was yeah.
Olivia,
yes.
And that was, I think we took over the entire Glo staff for everyone to it. But we could.
Yeah, exactly.
And still get everyone out on time.
And not only that, sorry, we're segueing from what you asked before, but we will go back. But with that, we take manicurists out to weddings.
Yes.
We take spray tanners out to weddings because technically it's very not the right thing to do because you should do a spray tan before. But you could have a spray tan at 9 in the morning if your hair and makeup isn't until 2. Because you can have 2 hours to sit there and bake in front of the AC. I always, advise. And then wash it off and then you're ready. But we normally say do it the day before. But like, we have a team of people that can come out and do, touch-ups of nails or, whatever. If you wanted a quick,
It's just so convenient.
Yeah. Sometimes if the hair is, it's a spectrum. Like if the hair is like just past the point of being too oily, it won't last.
No.
Because, your hair is an absorbent. The minute it's oily at the roots, it's going to go all the way to the ends. It's going to look awful.
Yeah.
And I've had bridesmaids before who have not washed their hair the day before.
Yeah.
And I have said to them, your hair is not going to last. And unless you go and wash it and dry it now and I do somebody else, we're not going to be able to make it work.
And do they do it?
Oh, yeah. When I'm in a wedding, I'm in charge. Yeah. It's definitely you're in my house.
Yeah,
My house rules. Yeah, so wash and dry the night before. Don't put any product in it. I don't advise you do like a hair mask the day before. Maybe a couple of days, but not the day before. Too slippery, yeah. Another couple of things. These are more just like pointers. Try and avoid the sea. Try and avoid the chlorine. I know you're on holiday, but if you are going to go in the ocean or in the pool, wet your hair with clean water and then put conditioner in it.
Does ketchup actually work if they go green?
It works, but it's not advisable. So it's all about, there's like a color wheel. So it's like some colors will eliminate other colors.
Okay.
So red will get rid of green.
Right.
Like purple shampoo gets rid of yellow.
Yeah.
Blue shampoo gets rid of orange.
Yeah.
So all these things. So yes, it does work, but I wouldn't advise you put
ketchup
on your hair. Yeah. We actually do a service in the salon where you can have the green removed.
Okay, so let's say because I have a lot of brides who do this thing, and this is still going on your topic, and they have green hair. Is that something they could apply on the day of and get it out, or would you advise them doing that prior to the hair and makeup?
I mean, to be honest, if so say you're here for a week before you want to enjoy your holiday, go in the pool, do whatever you want, book in the salon, have a toner, and then avoid the ocean, avoid the pool the day before, and then just don't go in it. Yeah. Because the whole green hair thing, we can strip it out, but it's not great for your hair. Right. Anything that you do to your hair that's not a natural service is not great. Yeah. Really. And then, so that's kind of all prep before we start. So just make sure that your hair is clean, avoid the pool if you're carrying the ocean, and then just don't put any product in. From a makeup perspective, I would definitely say if you're going to apply sunscreen, do it at least an hour before the hair and makeup team arrive. Right. Because sunscreen in photos kicks off light.
From zinc, is
yes,
that right?
Yes, exactly. So if you put sunscreen on, your photos are going to be quite, your face reflective. But then the worst thing is a lot of people do sunscreen here and forget this. So I have seen wedding faces. Yeah, so I've seen wedding faces, like wedding pictures of girls' faces where they're white and then tan, and it's
kind of creepy,
kind of geisha. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah. So definitely sunscreen before. Make sure you're really hydrated. Drink plenty of water for your skin, and just make sure you look after your skin the day before. I'm gonna do mine later.
And what would you say helps? What's a great thing that planners can do for the hair and makeup team, and what's something that you wish they would stop doing? Is there anything like that for you guys?
So I'm going to put a huge statement out there because I have met brides in all capacities, having a planner, not having a planner, having a hotel plan it for them.
Oh yeah.
So your planner will literally be your best friend in the whole world. Like I'm always happier knowing there's a planner versus not having a planner. Right. Because your job is essentially, I'm telling you your job.
No, you can tell me my job.
Okay, from my perspective, what I see you guys doing is, obviously we're having a conversation. So you, for example, there'll be a problem. So say the wrong chairs. I'm actually referencing a wedding where this happened, or the tables were wrong.
Yeah.
You will come in and go, okay, the tables are wrong. So this is what we're going to do. We can either get the tables, we'll get them in time, it'll be fine. Or if you're happy, we can reconfigure the arrangement and we can do this, that, and the other. You kind of come with the problem, the solution, and the options. And you let the bride decide there and then. And I think that's what's helpful. Where it's helpful for us in that case is that means the bride is not being called away.
Yes.
Because the amount of times that we're doing a bride or whatever, and they're like, sorry, I've just got to get up and go.
Is this when they don't have someone helping them?
This is when they don't, yeah. So you help keep the chaos that's outside that's going on before it's done. You help keep that going without the bride having to come away and do any of it.
Because we also have a schedule to stick to as well. If the less time we can take you guys away from what you're doing, the better.
Yeah. And it's so funny because, like, I'm never in a rush. I have all the time in the
No,
world.
I know. You're such an ultimate chiller when it comes to work.
Totally. Yeah. The thing is, imagine if you're a bride, you don't have a planner, and then you're trying to communicate with the venue that there's no power.
Yeah.
And there's no one there to sort it out. And obviously you speak Indonesian.
Yeah.
So it's really helpful for you to be able to go, no, this is what the situation is. But, like, if you don't have a planner, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
With that wedding specifically, you know, and I was chill because I'm like, I know I can get this done. There's no problem. But we want to keep brides on time more because if you want a sunset wedding, sunset's not going to wait for you.
No.
That sun's going down.
It's going down.
Yeah, so you need to be on time. And that's kind of where, you know, having a planner helps because
then we can also communicate, because even though you were quite chilled, even just knowing a ballpark, if you're like, oh, look, they're thinking about getting back online like in half an hour, you'll be able to say, okay, so that means we've actually got 2.5 hours. Right, we'll split the team up like this and this. Because then you guys can sort of manage your sort of services around better as well.
Yeah, because I think in that specific wedding, we started makeup.
Yeah.
But because I knew one of our makeup artists was a dual hairstylist.
Yes.
So we have a lot of dual makeup hairdressers. So she could help me do hair because we'd already started makeup. But I think we were an hour and a half behind, and we had it was 6 bridesmaids, 2 mothers, and the bride.
Yeah.
So that's 9 people.
Yeah.
So that's a lot for being an hour behind.
Yeah,
and actually, I think we finished 30 minutes before.
No, you did. You finished like early on schedule. And also, I'd love to sort of highlight as well, sort of the training and where everybody at Glo gets their sort of hair and makeup training and the certifications and stuff. How do they get to be known as, you know, one of the best on the island?
So my background in hairdressing. So I've been hairdressing for 16 years.
Yeah.
I started Tony and Guy from the beginning. I worked my way all the way to the top. I co-owned a salon. I've done freelance work, fashion week. I've basically had all the experience you could possibly have. Coming here and, you know, there isn't really a big hair and makeup education or, you know, there's spa.
Yes.
But especially when it comes to being creative and enjoying and being passionate, you know, I feel like sometimes for a lot of the Indonesian hairdressers, it's kind of just a job.
Yes.
Whereas where I'm from, it's a creative outlet.
Yes.
You know,
career.
It's a career and an aspiration, and you know, there's so many things you can learn and do and get excited. So when it comes to training for hair and makeup, you know, we're really obviously I've been doing this a long time and I have a lot of knowledge to pass, which I love doing. It's one of my favorite things to do is to train people. But we basically first we establish whether somebody wants to do it.
Yeah.
You know, are you interested in doing hair and makeup? You know, and if people are, then we're like, perfect. We'll schedule in once a week. We'll do an hour of training. Our makeup artist she's 17 or 18 years in the business. She's worked on TV, Netflix stuff. She's done celebrities. She lived in LA for 15 years.
Yeah.
She was in that kind of crowd. And she's incredible. And she's done so much training for our guys. So it's more about we want to establish our team as we're all on the same level.
Yes.
You know, obviously we have the most experience. It's not about being better or worse. It's about experience.
And the number of years of experience.
Yeah. And I think as well, you know, and I kind of want to talk about this as well, because I think this is a very big misconception with a lot of people that they don't want to have a local hairdresser
This
or
was going to be
makeup
my
artist.
next question.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that it might be something new or different, but at least in my experience, I haven't seen difference in work between the two. So, yeah, go on. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. I mean, yeah, I think people think that, you know, and there is some truth to it. You know, the education system for hair isn't hair specifically, and
I'm not sorry to interrupt again, but like this sort of like the bridal makeup for say local weddings.
Very
It's
different.
very different to what we have for Western weddings.
Yeah.
So there is that automatic assumption that if I have a local hair and makeup artist, are they going to do what a local wedding makeup's going to be?
Yeah, no, 100%. We have. So I'll first talk about Rini. Rini is one of
He's
our.
incredible.
Honestly, like, she's just amazing. Like, she is one of the most incredible Indonesian makeup artists. She has skills. I've worked with so many makeup artists. I would say she's better than some of the Western makeup artists that I've worked with before. Her knowledge is incredible. And then, we have Dika, and we have Vika, and we have so many Indonesian hairdressers that are incredible.
Yeah.
But also, during low season, we do a lot of refresh training. And also, we have a WhatsApp group where we send looks and like YouTube videos. And, I'm consistently looking at new inspiration for brides and, stuff like that. So it's funny to me that, I think what I always want people to do is trust our team.
Yeah.
So we could send anybody. And that's kind of where I want us to be. And I think we're kind of getting there now.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, because obviously, people get sick.
Yes.
People, have families and,
you want to have everybody to be on the same level of expertise and creativity that no matter what wedding it is, what day it is, you could literally put everyone's name in a hat, pull one out, and the client would get exactly the same quality.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that they would get the same experience because obviously everyone's different, and obviously a wedding with me is way better than a wedding with them.
Experience and quality are two different things. Like an experience would be like maybe the conversation or the vibe you bring.
I'm more there for the humor.
Yeah, but then for the quality, it's going to be you using all the same products, you're using the same training, and so people can feel confident about that.
Yeah, like I mean, we've had it before where somebody's called in sick, and even if you did a trial with that person. We had it recently, actually, where somebody, I think she got like E. coli or...
Oh my God.
Yeah, like she wasn't just sick, she was in hospital.
Yeah.
So she couldn't do the wedding. But luckily, because we have such a big team, it's easy for us to just say, no problem, we'll do a little rejigging and we'll send somebody else. It's not a problem. And I think that's where, I trust my team 100%. And anybody who books with us for hair and makeup, regardless who they send, they're going to have the best experience.
Well, I've been working with Glo for 13 years. From day one that I opened,
Yeah.
Glo was always like, we have forged such a strong partnership. And I always recommend Glo because I back it. Like, I would never suggest vendors to my clients that I wouldn't personally back. Like, you do my hair. Like, I literally don't present.
I'm glad you said that when I'd styled it before we did this.
Oh, I know. My hair before was horrible.
If you said you do my hair and it was what it was before, I'd be like, no, don't do her hair. I did not do that to her.
No, but like I only would like to recommend people that I would personally vouch for.
Totally, yeah. And don't get me wrong, like there are some great hairdressers on this island.
Yes.
And there are so many companies that do hair and makeup for weddings. Fikri. Yes. Amazing. Incredible person. Hard to book because he's always busy.
Yeah.
But, he's amazing. And that's the thing, there are so many hairdressers out there. I just think when I'm talking about us, and the confidence, and obviously you've had so much confidence since the last 13 years of working with us, I just think that experience is kind of what you want on a day like that.
Yes.
Because you want people who not only can do hair and makeup, but can also, deal with other things.
Pivot and everything on the same time. Yeah.
Because like while you're running around, telling people where flowers go and trying to organize,
the flow of the day. Everything.
The flow of the day and how the day's gonna run. Like I'm in a small.
I know I can leave you, and you're good with them, and I don't need to worry about that. And then you'll come and. Sometimes we miss each other because it's such a busy day, but then I know that when you're walking out, I'm like, I know without even having to talk to you, client's happy, everyone's hair and makeup's done, we're on time. Like we just, you've got that level of trust and sort of camaraderie.
Yeah. And that's it. I think having a strong team really helps because the day is chaos.
Yeah.
Regardless of how chill you are, there's a lot going on.
Oh, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Constantly. It's like a wheel.
Yeah. And I mean, we've all got families. We all have either that one or two people in our families that are difficult.
Yeah.
Is keeping that under control.
Oh, yeah, the dynamics on the day. It's just like next level.
Yeah. I mean, I sometimes will say to brides, like, on the trial, is there anyone that you want me to pay close attention to? Or
That's a great thing.
Because we all have that one person.
We do.
There is always one person in the bridal party who thinks the wedding is about them. 100%.
It's 100% on that. And that's so good that you actually acknowledge that because what I do from my side is I was like, okay, is there anyone that may think they are in charge of your wedding day that might say things that you have not approved of that I should be aware of, that I have permission to overrule on based on what you want?
Yeah.
And just so I'm well aware, so I don't get confused in the day going, no, but we've already discussed we wanted it to be yellow napkins. And then I change it to yellow napkins, and the bride's like, I don't want yellow napkins. So I always do that. So that's always good that you sort of have that sort of preface of.
To be honest, like, I don't just do the hair. I've been up bride's dresses. I have rolled bride's dresses into a sock because they realized they couldn't get it over their bum, so they had to go over, but their hair and makeup's done. And I like rolled it into a sock and threw it over her so she didn't destroy it. I have a question for you actually. When you're planning, the hair and makeup side of, obviously you have many people that you can choose from. And I know some people also do the research and they come to you with suggestions. So what is the most important thing for you when you're picking hair and makeup, or when you're, when you're putting out there to brides who, the best people to go to are? Like, what's kind of your main...
So I would say that I'm pretty good at reading people or like getting their vibe. So like I usually can tell within the first Zoom call what kind of hair and makeup team they're going to need.
Yeah.
I can already tell by looking at them, even if they've got no makeup on, I'll be like, okay, she wants high glam.
Yeah.
Or she wants like full face. This one wants supernatural, girl next door, dewy, sort of golden girl,
Yeah.
And based on that, and based on what I think, because I know all the makeup artists that at least I work with and hairstylists, they can all do all the looks.
Yeah.
But some specialize in them better.
You're matchmaking.
I literally matchmake. So I'll look at them, I'm like, okay. And I always want people to have a choice. So I say, okay, I can already tell you're like high glam girl. You're going to want like all the bronze. You're going to have like defined eyebrows. All this. Here are my top 3 I'd suggest for that. Of course, if there's somebody else that you want me to look into, of course, that's fine. But that's how I generally do it.
Yeah.
I would say because the demographic of brides that we have are mostly sort of Northern European and Australian.
Yeah.
They kind of do want more of that sort of natural, dewy, golden sort of touch on it, which is why we work a lot with you guys.
Yeah, all the buzzwords. Golden, dewy, glowy, bronzy.
Those are that sort of natural, wispy, sort of there but not there.
Yeah.
Just beautiful,
Yeah. So as well for you, when you are, working with hair and makeup teams, what is one thing that you like from us? Like, what's one thing that you're like, I need the hair team to do this, or I need this from the hair team and makeup team before weddings?
To be honest, I think as an industry, it's pretty good. Like, it's pretty streamlined. Like, we sort of say, this is what we need for this date. Can you lock it in? Blah, blah, blah. We get through the deposit stage. I think what would be really good if more did it would be like a little sort of PDF or soft copy of something, just a little tips of what to do before you get to the thing. So here's our glow guide, and then they have something to look and read at, because you can say it to them, but then they've got so many other things they're paying attention to, the catering, the bar, the music. Yeah. You could easily go past them,
Yeah. So interesting you say that. So we have coming very soon to a wedding planner near you. We have Glo's Guide to Bride.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Glo's Guide to Bride is essentially going to be do's and don'ts, tips before the day. It'll also include some of our pricing for, pre-wedding prep. So doing your tanning or your hair, your nails, getting your hair blow dried, all that kind of stuff. So I think, because that's something that we will start sending out to planners when we do the first initial email, so that they can forward it to the bride. It's also something I'll have on my WhatsApp that I can forward to them as well. It's more as well just because there are little things that, like little tips and little things that we always suggest to brides, to do before they come to the island. So
that was going to be my next thing. So like, I guess even just to tie it all up, what would you recommend? Because we sort of talk about how to do it the day before, like, wash your hair and clean skin. But before getting on that plane, like before it's like, okay, there's no more changes now, we're going and we're leaving everything we know behind. What would you say your biggest tips or reminders are before you depart for Bali?
Okay, so we'll do makeup first.
Yes.
So makeup, I would definitely say make sure you get a really good moisturizer, or make sure that, don't try anything new before you come to Bali. Bali's definitely different air. You've got obviously the UV. Sometimes the UV index is above 10, which obviously is quite dangerous to skin. And make sure that you just keep yourself really hydrated, because that's going to make for the best makeup on the day. Also, you will not believe the amount of brides who who don't have a lipstick.
Right. Wow.
Because we're there to do your lipstick. The minute you eat something or drink something,
Or even the first kiss.
Even the first kiss. Yeah. Gone by the point you say I do. It's gone. Yeah. So bring the lipstick you're gonna wear all day. I always think the number one is Pillow Talk. Is it Charlotte Tilbury?
Oh right. Yeah.
I know. Bring a lipstick with you because you're gonna have to touch it up throughout the day. A lot of brides do the perfume thing. Bring a perfume that you're gonna have, but bring your perfume. But get one of those little.
Oh, like an atomizer.
Yeah, because the big chunky perfume, obviously, you can't keep applying it.
Yes, right. So have it for your photos, but have a small one for your purse.
Yeah.
Just to...
And then hair-wise, again, like I already said, just wash and prep the day before. Make sure that I would always suggest that you do a toner before you come here, and obviously all your highlights and stuff. But I will also say, from a pricing standpoint, it is so much more affordable. Cost of living crisis is crazy. Getting your hair and makeup done, getting your hair and treatments done in Australia, the UK, the US, so expensive.
It is.
But here, actually, it's priced based on the island, and we are a little bit less in price.
Right.
So, we have some of the most amazing, manicurists and technicians and spray tanners, and if you get your spray tan done, Santi, she's amazing. And then
I always recommend going for the spray tans.
Yeah.
I sent my mum there the other day as well.
Yeah. It's so funny. I wanted to have one the other day, and Santi was unfortunately sick, and I was like, I'm going on. But yeah, so that would be kind of for hair. But also, I've got one for the men.
Yes. We don't talk enough about men.
Do you know, this is their day too. It is not Michaela's wedding featuring this person.
But sometimes it is.
But sometimes it is. But yeah, I mean, it's the biggest day of their life too. And do you know what? Like, there's never enough focus on the groom. And
especially in this department, like, at least from my perspective, they are all over the bar. They are down. They know exactly what drinks are being poured, what temperature the beer should be at, and everything. But for this side, the pampering, groom should actually always be feeling his best.
Totally, 100%. So for the grooms, obviously, I'm a barber as well. I'm a skilled barber, so I do men's haircuts before we do the wedding.
Love them.
I've done them on the day, which I don't always suggest. I mean, and that's not because of me. Like, I'm a really good barber, but why on the day of your wedding would you choose to have your hair cut?
Also, like, sometimes I guess, when someone does get a haircut, it always looks better, like, say, 3 days later or something.
Totally,
It's a little bit of growth out.
But also, with the tan thing.
Yes.
If you have a fresh fade the day of your wedding, this is going to be white and
super
this is going to be tan.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
So true.
So you're almost going to look you have like a reverse bald patch.
Yeah.
But like, for the guys, get a fresh beard trim, make sure again you're hydrated, make sure that, you are kind of prepped for the day, make sure you get a manicure because close-ups of the hands.
There are so many photos of hands.
Yeah, your wedding pictures, your hand. Yeah, get a manicure. If the word man is in it. You can have one. It's a manicure. You can have one.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, even for the guys, there's a little bit of pre-wedding prep, and I normally jump in and help the grooms with a bit of styling if they need it.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily spend a lot of money, but for the grooms, it's the biggest day. Get your hair, just a little bit of wax or polishing, or we'll spray it so it's perfect. Blah blah. Invest a little bit in your look.
Absolutely, and I'm 100% with you on that one.
And bring a second shirt.
I sometimes say 3.
Yeah, honestly, I have seen men sweat through their shirts before they've even walked down the aisle. It's so hot here. Buy 3 white shirts if you're wearing white.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, if you're getting hot, ice cubes on your wrists, little things that you can do to cool your temperature down because it's going to be hot.
Very hot.
Very hot.
Okay. Well, thanks for today. And for everybody else, before we wrap it up, where can everyone find Glo's work?
So obviously you can find us on our Instagram. Obviously, you can.
We always send out your
brochures
and everything. Then you've got a website and WhatsApp, direct hotline to Scott.
Get my WhatsApp. Get it because you'll need it. And definitely, I mean, obviously, if you're planning with Plan A, who are amazing wedding planners, you've always got somebody, who's gonna be there to support you.
Absolutely.
And then obviously if you're using us as well, you've literally got the
dream team.
Yeah, dream team. We say that on every wedding, you have the dream team.
You have the dream team.
Totally. Cool.
Oh,
Well,
okay, great.
Cool, thanks.